Thank you. Good morning. What a privilege it is to be here. But yesterday, not today, is the same for me as it was yesterday. Saturday was the 75th year of the broken glass. The night of the broken glass, 75 years ago, November the 9th. I asked a person in my community, I live in Bracebridge, in Muskoka, and that person, a young male, what's the broken glass? I asked him, did you not study history in grade 10? I think I did. I don't remember. Okay, well, I do. Because Remembrance Day for me is every day. Every day is Remembrance Day. And I'm going to share with you why I remember. Although I had a young student, maybe grade 10 or 11, here is what she said to me. I see the pain in your face. Why do you do this? Why don't you just forget about it? I said to her, without the memory, I have an empty soul. I don't want to forget. Never. I was given a gift of life. And when you get a precious gift, you must share it. You survive for a purpose. You can't just sit in a rocking chair in God's living room and wait till you're called home. You have to get off your butt and go where the calling is. Sue Lucan, 24 First Nations Reserve children for 5 days. The Arctic, I came back home from the Arctic like somebody punctured me with a needle, let the air out. Those beautiful children, I couldn't see them having a future. Not like you guys that take everything for granted. Don't. I'm not here to judge anyone. That's not my mission in life. I only bring awareness of the power of hate. On the screen, you will have an opportunity to see that power. You're also going to hear me speak about the Nazi bullies. But I'm not saying that every German was a Nazi. Every German was not a Nazi, and every Nazi was not a German. That you will see on the screen as well. I'm going to ask you a couple of questions. The first one is, can you please show me how many of you use the word hate every day? Shit. Don't be shy. I'm not here to judge. It's not just young people. Young people learn that from older people. Now, my hand didn't go up, not because I'm shy. By the time you get to my age, you're not shy anymore. I just don't use the word hate. For 15 years, I babysat my 3 grandchildren while their mom and dad were teaching. They were not allowed to use the word hate. I taught my grandchildren to use the word I don't like. I don't like it when I'm called names. And I don't like it when I'm pushed around. But I don't hate. Hate is a killer. have been bullied. I have been bullied. I was bullied by the Nazi bullies. I was 19 when they bullied me. Now why? I was an ugly teenager? I don't think so. Simply because they didn't like my religion. Why are you bullying each other? One high school student in the Durham ward said to me, "You know how kids are." I said, "No, I don't. They get kicks out of bullying." Well, kicks don't last. The only thing that's lasting is the pain that we cause other human beings, not kicks. A student in Ottawa, I've been going to Ottawa for 10 years this month, April a week and November a week. And this was last April. Here is what that senior student said to me. She said, "There is no acceptance." I happen to believe it. And that morning, I did something different for the first time. I asked my audience, how many of your grandparents and great-grandparents came to Canada from another country? How many of yours, if you know? How many of your ancestors came to Canada? Now, how come that they were accepted to come in here? And why did they want to come to Canada? Why? Because there is no better country, that's why. They came here to make a better life for themselves and for the generation to follow them. Why do you have difficulty in accepting others? Why? What does it mean to a young person to be a Canadian? I am a Canadian, very proud Canadian. I wasn't born here, but I have been a Canadian for 62 years. And what it means to me to be a Canadian, there is no room in my heart for hate. Only love. If you consider yourself a Canadian, what you need to show that you are one. Don't tell people you're a Canadian. Doesn't mean anything. The only way I know that you're a Canadian is by your behavior, the way you treat each other. When my grandson was in grade 10, a high school population about 1,100, he was also bullied. Now how was he bullied? The bully in the hallway called him a stupid Jew. That didn't bother my grandson. He doesn't suffer of low self-esteem. He knows who he is. What bothered him? That the teacher was standing in the hallway. He said nothing. And he did nothing. So that teacher chose to become a bystander. And bystanders are as guilty as the perpetrators. I asked my grandson, "Did you go to the principal?" He was so stupid at 15, he went to the newspaper. And he published the article he wrote, and he called it "Prejudice Spreads Like a Disease." And what he's asking you to do? To help him. He says you have the power to do it by making a commitment that you will not be a bystander. Never. Now what happened to that 15-year-old? At 17, he entered Queen's University. At 21, he graduated with 2 degrees. You have to be pretty stupid to achieve that, don't you think so? Why the labeling? Why? Why are we so ready and eager to label other people? Because we don't know who we are, and we don't know where we came from, and we don't know where we are heading. And I'm asking you, please, don't be afraid to look inside you. Don't. You might find something very wonderful about yourself. Build on it.